Hello, 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 travelers. Welcome back to the next, but also the penultimate episode for this season of The Last of Us. I'm not emotionally ready for this. I have read and understood that this episode is Neil Druckmann's letter to the love letter to the fans, essentially. So I feel like this is going to be the one for all the purists out there, like myself. I don't want to spoil anything real quick, but I mean, you can definitely tell. I know there's 2 flashbacks for sure that we're getting, maybe even a third. I wonder if there's going to be a 4th. In terms of predictions, if you want to skip ahead like 30 seconds, I'm not going to get too deep in anything, but I will say, I know we're getting the museum. I know we're getting the, I don't know if it's going to be in Salt Lake City, but I know we're getting that conversation about the truth of what happened. And if we're doing all the flashbacks this episode, we might get our porch scene. I don't know. We might get the porch scene, but to try to, get our spirits back up and a little bit of if I ever were to lose you. We're going from the red to some green light, some like nature reclaiming this episode. You can't really see it from where I am, but I got Totoro. I don't know if you can see him right now, but I got Totoro with me for good luck and good spirits. Speaking of good spirits, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a doozy. From listening to the Last of Us podcast, they said that they introduced the spores like this to show how the infection is still evolving and changing. When people think they have adjusted to be able to live with it, it changes literally under their feet. Yeah, hence why Stalker's now here and getting smarter, and now there's spores, so it's evolving and can be airborne now too, not just through a bite. I love how convinced you are that Tommy isn't there, because that's the thing, Tommy already should have been here. But anyway, I don't always agree with you, but I appreciate you as a defender of Part 2's story structure, and I appreciate how thoughtful your reaction is. I'm hoping the birthday flashback shows Ellie's type of intelligence, which comes from her passionate interests, not in sitting down to study. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I will defend the story of Last of Us Part 2 because I love it and the story and the games and the characters therein. I watched the episode like 2 more times after I watched it the first time. By that, I mean the Feel Her Love episode. And yeah, the more that I think about it, I'm like, it feels like they're dumbing her down, and it's not me taking issue with like her character, but how her character's being treated via the writing and this interpretation of it. So just got under my skin a little bit, but I think that we're all in agreement. We want to see the best for baby girl. I personally have seen a lot of ADHD in Ellie, and even more so in the show. It's my own personal view of her. People get really sensitive about this, so no, I'm not saying anyone else has to see her the same way, or even that the writers intended it. Some things like her extreme risk-taking could also come from trauma / survivor's guilt / suicidal ideations, but it's very common in ADHD, and I see it as a combination that has resulted in who she is now. I also see it in her creativity and passion, varied interests, impulsivity, and sometimes less mature emotional responses are also symptoms. I'm not trying to diagnose her or anything. No, but that's a fair you're interpreting her character, which is exactly what the intended outcome is, that we're to, get a vibe from the character. We're to extrapolate based on what the character does and says, right? Impulsivity and sometimes less mature emotional responses are also symptoms. I'm not trying to diagnose her or anything, but it's really interesting to see the show bring out more of these traits and symptoms, whether it's deliberate or not. I appreciate that perspective and that take on it, because the first thing I look to is, well, in the game I see her as more, she definitely has that emotional core, and I can easily see how ADHD might be able to be factored into that. I can see that. In the game, she's more of a tactician, guerrilla tactic. She's still impulsive, and it has a strong drive, kind of bullheaded in times, but I don't know, I feel like in the game she makes better decisions, or at least ones that fit more in line with her quest for vengeance and such. Again, if we're going along the argument, or rather the conversational aspect of this, which is that this is an adaptation, creators have even said that like it encompasses the story and the narrative journey of the show, but it is an adaptation and therefore is going to be a different interpretation of sorts. So if you look at it in that context of like, okay, well, same character spiritually, but we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a different take on it, then yeah, I still admire Bella Ramsey for like really putting her all into the role and for giving us this. Maybe she's not my Ellie per se, but I think she's doing a great job with bringing Ellie to the screens in this capacity. Also, I think Ellie's revenge tour and descent in this episode really kicks off, because earlier in the episode, Dina says that no one deserves to die the way Joel did, and then later with Nora, Ellie tortures her the same way Abby tortured Joel, indeed. I had the Yara thought too. There are a bunch of things I really liked in this episode and several things I didn't like. Reveal to Ellie of the doc being Abby's dad, and Jesse's miracle time-saving dumb girls, oof. Spoilers, skip ahead 10 seconds if you want. Given some of the changes and the fact that they've talked about straying from the source, wouldn't it be exciting at this point if they go entirely off the path? I think everyone strongly suspects a bunch of Eugene next week, tucked in with Joel flashbacks. That doesn't leave much time for all the things that have to happen to get us to the theater scene in the final episode. This show loves Dina for good reason. I agree, this show really favors Dina, and there's not a lot of space for her before the end of the season in the version we know. Fingers crossed for some weird ass stuff. Let's have Dina save Jesse. Abby rides in on Shimmer. Maybe Yara shoots Isaac before anything else we know about the threat and kicks off the war. Tommy kills Owen. Farmhouse in finale, and all next season is flashback. I'm down. You know what? Honestly, yeah, if they're gonna really go like off script, like just go all out and go completely like really reinterpret the whole thing, but I feel like if they made deviations that extreme, I feel like the fan base, maybe even me, I feel like the fan base would riot. Like I'd be curious and I'd respect the balls, the tenacity, but I don't know about that. I'm enjoying the show. Non-gamer here, I love your beginning monologue. I get it. I stopped watching movies if I had already read the book. I always got disappointed. I went in blind, and Ellie's character, ugh, I hate teenagers, I know not all act like that, drove me crazy. They made her extremely sarcastic and loud. I'm the person that will kill the loud, not serious, annoying people during the apocalypse. I found myself fast forwarding a lot. Everyone around me thought I was being way too critical. I mean, I definitely would still, like, by principle, I'll still watch it. Also, I love how it's, like, my beginning monologue. I'm like, yeah, I do have a tendency to yap, so I like how they're just my monologues now. Part of it plays into the fact that, admittedly, they are young characters. Like, they are, you know, Ellie and Dina, you know, although they're both have their own share of traumas, they are like mature souls in certain aspects at risk of sounding like a groomer or something like that. But hey, mature for her age. Like that being said, there is still that sort of like naivete and innocence that comes with being, I don't want to say childlike, but being younger. Like you're still developing up until 25 and then some, right? Again, a lot of spoiler talk, but spoilers. The episode airing on Mother's Day with that opening scene was cold, so good. And I'm proud of predicting that Tommy and Jesse would go after Ellie and Dina, even though I'm not a gamer. I appreciate the time you take to make these videos and show us gameplay. Yeah, it's a big part of it for me, the comparisons. For the spores, it definitely gives Nora proof that Ellie is immune. Really crazy scene. And the ending leaves us ready for the emotional flashback episode. I guess the finale will be on the verge of switching to Abby's POV. I am so curious to see how they handle the finale. My heart, my soul is not ready for what we're about to see tonight, but I'm so curious how they're going to handle the finale and then what season 3 is, the shape of that's going to be like. My strongest opinion in this whole conversation is that art is subjective and nobody should be made to feel that their opinion is wrong or invalid. I've seen a lot of online spaces where both sides are dismissive and hostile towards anyone who disagrees with them. Anyways, cheers to any and all people who have some chill. That's the thing. I said it once, I'll say it again, which is that I'm not trying to like, you know, if you disagree with me, that's perfectly understandable. That's good. I encourage the dialogue to be had. I'm just voicing my opinion. That's the whole idea about, you know, content creation. But in this case, that's the whole premise of, you know, a reaction series and thing is that I'm watching it. I'm giving my opinion, my take. I'm analyzing, explaining if I think it's good or not, and if I think it's a good adaptation or not. And yeah, I just find it ironic and funny that for a story that's partially about having empathy for people on the other side, so many fans are just so angry at people who disagree with them about art. It seems wild to me. I agree. For the longest time, I've said now that Last of Us Part 2 is a barometer for empathy. It's how I describe the game. I respect and appreciate media, whether it's film, television, games, books, what have you. I like the challenge. I like having my sympathy or empathy challenged. I like having narrative conventions and norms challenged. And that's why I admire the game so much. Several conflicting feelings with this episode. I do like finally having Jesse and Tommy in Seattle, even though we haven't seen Tommy. Was really worried about that. And the Park Hospital getting Nora sequence here. The cold open alone was heartbreaking. Agreed. I mean, it's funny how I said I wish they did more of them. And this season literally gives us more. Like, it's hard to beat the season 1, episode 1, 70s talk show. It's hard to beat Jakarta in episode 2 of season 1. But having the flashbacks to Isaac and Fedra in the early days of the pandemic, having to deal with the spore outbreak in the hospital basement, I love the flashback cold openings. They're almost always done like perfectly, exceptionally well. Ellie's separation from Dina feels authentic, and they said on the podcast if Ellie was shot here like in the game, she wouldn't be going anywhere. It would have felt silly and unrealistic for the more grounded adaptation. Yeah, I get that. The sneaking away in the grass and the guard not trusting his dog, amazing. Yeah, just like in the game. And in the basement, the cordyceps and spores, Bella's black, terrifying eyes, the red lighting is just on the edge. Visually, I love this whole episode. Agreed, the aesthetic is there. What I didn't like, though, again, was dumbing Ellie down. I'm right there with you. Jesse's miraculous and heroic timing and spelling the motivations out for the audience / revealing stuff to the protagonist. So many characters in this episode alone inadvertently call Ellie stupid. She's not stupid. Yes, she might be reckless and emotional, perhaps even undiagnosed ADHD, as we talked about earlier, but she's pretty smart and capable nonetheless. Hopefully the flashbacks next episode show just that. I think we're all hoping for that. Secondly, why does Nora say that was Abby's father, the only person who could possibly make the cure? There's no need for all that repetitive exposition. That's what I've been saying since episode 1, is that there's not as much subtlety this season. When it comes to an adaptation, especially of a video game of this scale and magnitude and such, I get that you're going to have exposition sometimes, whether in character dialogue or just even outright or in like a diegetic conversation. But for me, I hate forced exposition, and I hate it when you don't trust your audience and you have a lack of subtlety. And I don't like to hate on things in general. I try to find the positives in things, hence this whole series, as you've seen. But I mean, there's still some subtlety throughout, but it's been markedly less subtle and like much more expository. There's no need for all that repetitive exposition, and don't do your audience's thinking or homework for them. We are pretty attentive and capable of connecting the dots ourselves. Exactly. Watch Interview with a Vampire, watch Severance, watch Succession, just a few shows that I've reacted to on my channel. Did she hope this reveal would stop Ellie? Probably desperation, yeah. In the game, there was still a mystery to Ellie. She was questioning their motives. I don't recall her ever finding out about the doctor father, LOL, and she didn't even care. To me, it feels pointless and frustrating. People don't really spell out everything that happened in everyone's lives. The miscommunication happens all the time, and that's why the whole miscommunication trope is so often executed really well. It's just real and relatable. I remember somebody in the last episode or two addressed that, and I had a back and forth dialogue with them as well. I think the argument against that is supposed to be that it's harder to communicate that in a series as opposed to a video game, between the time jumps or the change in perspective in the narrative. I see argument, the conversation I had with the other user online, it's not as conducive for this format, which I see where they're coming from, but I still kind of respectfully disagree. But again, it's a whole conversation that we have had and could have further. Revealing everything to Ellie feels like they're trying to show her very evil descent to darkness and revenge, but we know she ain't stopping, so it feels condescending to the audience, honestly. By the way, great points about Ellie not being used to the revolver, hence missing every shot. I didn't even think of that. Hope that's their strategy here, and not that she's just terrible shot because it's not these characters' time to die yet. Oh, it was on the birthday? Oh, well, even if it was a few days ago, a couple days ago, maybe more. Happy birthday, happy birthdizzle for Rizzle to Voren Stark. The North remembers. We're all here for it. I've seen so much hate toward Bella in the season in general. We haven't even seen the whole story yet. We won't until season 3. Well, that was the whole thing, right? Before the part 2 of the game even came out, the hate came out, right? Because those script leaks happened, unfortunately. And then everybody just immediately made up their minds, and within 5 minutes of the game being available, people review bombed it to hell and back. People are so quick to judge a narrative before seeing the entire thing go all the way through. I could be watching something, if it's a show, a movie, or whatever, even if it's terrible, I'm going to finish it so I can see the full experience and make an accurate assessment or judgment. But it's part of why I've held off like fully critiquing this season until I see it all the way through. I'm critiquing it in the moment and as things transpire, but I don't know. They got 2 episodes left to really sell it all, to sell it to me. So I get that we're seeing a different Ellie, a different Joel, and different characters in general. But Neil and Craig have said on the podcast that while the characters may be approached differently, it's still the same story, just different paths. Personally, I'm loving it even with the small issues I've noticed, but I'm holding off full judgment until we've seen it all. Exactly, yeah. Until then, we're only seeing a fraction of what's to come. Because even then, I can judge it based on its merits of what it does in season 2, and then, you know, the 1 and 2 season journey so far. But then even again, there'll be 3 and maybe 4, maybe more, and then we'll have to see. We only have 2 games, so we're going to see how far they're going to take this, how long they're going to have the show run for. If anything, they might even queue up a part 3 for Last of Us in the future. Who fucking knows? But yeah, then there'll be even final judgments to have even after the series ends. What really gives me faith is listening to Neil and Craig. On this week's podcast, Craig mentioned wanting a different song, but Neil pushed to use the Pearl Jam track, and that just reminds me how involved Neil is. The story is his baby, and he's super protective of it. If he trusts Craig, then I'm going to trust him too, and I'll pass judgment at the end. I agree. Before I even went into this, like, Craig Mazin's track record, I love his work. And Neil Druckmann, like, his work. I love both of them. I still have complaints, but I love them and trust them enough where, like, you know, I know they're trying. They didn't have the spores in season 1 because of many things, one of them being that spores move and it's hard to keep them in just one spot like in the game. Also that they attach to the clothes, and lastly, they said they didn't want to have the actors the majority of the time in gas masks where they couldn't see their faces. Very true. So now, just as the Stalkers, it was added as part of the evolution of the infected. Edit 2, in the OG PS3 game, you can hear the infected moaning and basically repelling, eating human flesh, attacking others. There's a few runners crying, "No, I don't wanna," or something like that. It said that they are still there, up to which point, we don't know, but definitely at least at the beginning stages, even if they are biting others, their mind is still there. They can no longer control their actions. Also, note the moaning and the mumbling was taken out on the remake and recent remaster because it was said to be too freaky or something. Oh, hush, come on. Not you, Hush, but like, of all the places to draw a line in the sand, that's where they're gonna do it. See, I like that. Hell of a find, by the way. See, that's what it's more. This is supposed to be horrific. It's supposed to feel like a terrible tragedy in the apocalypse. It's like happening to human beings, right? Oh god, the crying and the shrieking, damn. Makes the scene even more creepy and disturbing as you can hear the host not only crying but coughing and gagging, and I think she vomits a little as the fungus forces her to eat someone she probably cared about. Again, that conversation with Sam, what if the people are still inside? What if they're trapped in there without any control of their body? That's what I'm telling you. That's why they would take that out. Too freaky. No, come on. That's the horror of the situation. Regarding the cliffhanger argument, yeah, we've had seasons ending on cliffhangers, but the next season basically always starts off by addressing that cliffhanger, and also stuff like who did Negan kill did get negative reactions. Fair point. So it's really not the cliffhanger itself that's an issue. It's the waiting and then continuing season 3 with something completely unrelated, Abby. And then also having to wait like 4 to 5 episodes to get back to the theater in season 3. I think that's what they were bracing for, with the extra sprinkled in empathy for Abby. P.S. Sorry for the bad spelling in the previous reply, LOL. Oh no, you're fine, you're fine. it's all good. I think really I'm just biased because I'm always down to clown whenever it comes to like, I'm so open to whatever experience somebody wants to throw at me from an artistic and narrative perspective. So I'm so open to like any type of crazy voyage. Like I'll go through the gauntlet. If you want to have me go on the ups and downs, the topsy-turvies and all that, I'll follow along with it. And, you know, maybe I'll bitch a little bit on the way. But yeah, again, look at this. Critical drinker after more critical drinker. How did Last of Us get this bad? Like, come on, dude. Dude, this guy is like on the warpath. Every week he's like, I can't believe this. I know this is a hot take, but I actually preferred the Nora scene in the show versus the game. The way we only look at Ellie in the game and just see giant blood splatters felt a bit lackluster to me. That's a hot take, but I respect you for putting your opinion in here. Especially when you contrast it with how grounded and viscerally, directly brutal the rest of the game feels. I think seeing Nora while Ellie hitting her, cutting to her face, in general, the sound design, the pipe feeling heavier. I do agree, seeing the pained expression on Nora's face as she's just like she's already like choking on spores while also now having her legs broken and slowly being tortured. But for me, it's the horror and the unseen. The real horror in that scene for me is watching Ellie really sink into becoming the villain of it. Watching her as she goes from like, I was prepared to do this, but now I have to do this right now. And watching her hype herself up in that moment. And you're watching her expression have to forcibly change from just, anger and vengeance to like mindset of torture and mutilation. And just, I think hearing the dull thuds and the seeing the blood fly up and hearing Nora for me, it's almost the horror of the unseen. Like, she is literally, she's gonna break this woman. What's left of her, slowly destroy this woman physically until she just to make it stop, fesses up the information. I think it's the implication that's the real horror there for me. So I've been yapping. Without further ado, episode 6, 1 full hour 2. Oh baby, we're gonna hop into this. If you want to watch the episodes full, uncut, uncensored with HD video accompaniment, and you want to support the channel an extra special step, you can go to patreon.com/MovieMan101. That also gives you access to my entire content library. This is the final episode to say it, so I do have the raffle going on my social media. If you want to go to @MovieMan101Pro, one of my recent posts is a raffle for The Last of Us Season 2. All you have to do, and again, there aren't a whole lot of people put into it, so your odds have already increased. But if you like the post, and if make sure you're following the channel, like you can unfollow when the raffle ends. This just helps to try to boost the numbers and to give back to you, the people. Find that post, like it, make sure you're following. You'll be entered for a chance to win a copy of your choice, physically or digitally, of Season 2 of The Last of Us. It's funny, I'm sure that I'll have the comparison via like the gameplay and all that, but if this is going to be what I think it is, it's just going to be pretty much a side-by-side of the game to the show. So, hello?
It'll be fine.
He's gonna beat the shit out of me.
I said it'll be fine.
I'm gonna get the belt.
This is Joel and Tommy?
No, you're not. I will.
Are we seeing young Joel and Tommy? Joel always wore the same plaid flannel shirts, huh? If this is what I think it is, and it's a childhood flashback to what appears to be Tejas over here. The games never did this. What a cool thing to do, to explore the characters that way, is to have a flashback of their childhood. That is an awesome decision. I love it. Austin, Texas, 1983. That's my name. Texas. The dad was a cop too. Oh boy. Abusive father. Gotta love it. Potential trigger warning. Is that Timothy Dalton?
I'm back on patrol in 30 minutes. So talk fast. What happened?
You know what happened.
Great cameo.
Well, I want to hear it from you.
I was buying pot from this other kid. He tried to rip me off and we got into a fight.
Wait, is it Timothy Dalton? Is it Tony Dalton? Oh, I did get it wrong. I got the old Bond actor. No, it's Tony Dalton, isn't it?
Truth.
No, you're not. I think Tommy was buying the drugs, not you. I think you happened to walk by, saw what was going on, and started punching.
Tommy didn't do anything.
I talked to the kid you beat up, Joel. And the officers who got called to the scene. I'm not stupid. And if you and Tommy weren't my sons, you'd both be in juvie right now.
You're not gonna hurt him.
Oh, yeah, beat your kids, 'cause that's the way to raise them right, huh? 2 beers? Oh, he's one of these dads, huh? What's going on here, dude? Is he trying to lower his guard? Is he trying to, like, tell him he's good for trying to
tell you about that time I stole a candy bar?
stand up for his brother?
Grandpa found out. Made me give it back, made me apologize to the cashier. And then we went home. Just before I got out of the car, man, it just broke my jaw. There was blood everywhere.
Jesus.
Grandma thought I was dead.
You know what it feels like. Then why?
That's not why I'm telling you this. Okay, yeah, I've hit you. And I've hit Tommy, but never like that. Not even close. I mean, maybe I go too far. I don't know. But I'm doing a little better than my father did.
Oh.
And you know, when it's your turn, I hope you do a little better than me.
Damn. And then he went and hit him. Damn. that hits even harder for me because literally I have the same type of I wouldn't say relationship, but I have a similar experience with like with talking with my father, for example. Like I long and the short of it is that I'm a bastard. Like literally by definition, my parents were never together when they had me. But Daddy-O didn't completely fly the coop. He stuck around, and I saw him on weekends, and now I see him, once or twice a year, a type of deal. So I never considered us like super duper close. We had like moments and some conversations in his now waning twilight years where, now that I've almost reached, 3 decades of life and he's just about at 7, now we're having those like late, like just these, me and him, I go visit, and it's these late night dining table conversations over, over a few drinks. I'm like my old man. I like a nice G&T with lime, like it's funny because part of me wishes for a closer relationship because it's like what Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that line. Well, no, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I'm sorry, that line.
He may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy.
That's real. For me, it's like my father's always been my father, but never felt like a daddy. I always saw things as kind of emotionally distant in that regard, but then I had these back and forth conversations with him where he kind of lets his guard down and he's kind of making some late game realizations. And the picture that he paints, like my father never laid a finger on me. The way that he tells it, he has some like horror stories about his old man, about his dad. And it's interesting to see generationally how things change and how it happens to literally, if we're going for like, not for my mother's side of the family, but for my father's side of the family, the lineage of Collins, as it were, right? His grandfather, who I think he was I'm pretty sure he served in the military. I'm pretty sure he did. Got back and I think he worked in, what was it, like factories or steel. Definitely put hands on my father, was a brutal guy. My father, he's an architect, right? And he always wanted to be one, and my father was my father's father was like, that's no career for a working man, and like put him down. And my father went out of his way to pursue that. But my father's still like, he's still that generation of like, oh, like maybe says a little bit too inappropriate things at family dinner. You know the type. He loves me, he loves his family, but sometimes you're like, man, I don't know, crazy way of showing it. But to go from him, who seems to be that kind of still kind of a prefers things by the book, old school hard ass sometimes, and then to go to me, right? Like, look at me, and you're like this fairy over here. I'm over here with like painted nails, like, questionable sexuality, doing full artistic reactions and crying to Interview with the Vampire on YouTube and all this. Like, I guess the toxic way of looking at that is to see the watering down of a generational line of people. But I prefer to look at it as to see what is being talked about right there when he's like, I hope that you can be better when it's your turn as well. And that's kind of tough because Joel ends up like kind of becoming a bit of a monster in his own right until he gets Ellie in his life. But that just really, that hit home on a very big emotional, personal level, because my father having that conversation at the table, being like, my father looking me in the eye and saying, I've tried to be better than my father, and more without saying it, just kind of looking at me being like, I truly hope you can be even better than me. And I certainly, I hope to be the dad that I really would have loved to have had. I still had a good father, but I want to be even more, right? So that's the generational struggle there. I'm sure that, again, talking about monologues and yapping, that was an enormous one, but I connected very much so to that scene right there. I'll finish that beer. Finish both those beers, dude. Great cold opening, though. I love that. That's why I love it when the show does shit like this, right? It's the opportunity to expand upon characters, even though that's going to be a super short, quick role right there. The fact that we got to have a flashback to like the youth of Joel and Tommy, that's great. I love that addition right there. Way to expand even further, and then tie that narratively into this now. Earlier days of Jackson, the old backpack.
The new guy.
Been here 2 months, Seth.
Seth getting this much screen time is crazy.
My grandkids are gonna love these.
What's the trade? Coffee or whiskey?
Trade's a trade. We can make what you want and have it to you by
Friday.
No, I need it by tomorrow.
Vanilla or chocolate? Say vanilla, it's easier.
Vanilla.
A cake? Are you gonna get Ellie a cake?
Oh, I need one more thing.
Best birthday ever. Oh my god, I'm not ready for this. Oh, I'm so ready for this. Are you kidding me? Oh, making sure she's not home before you start working on it. Handmade, homemade gifts are even more meaningful, right? Oh, fixed up the guitar. Oh, wow. So much love and care. Hell yeah. Dude, he made that? Dude, the guy's an artiste. You kidding me with this nonsense? Fixed her up a guitar. If I ever were to lose you. Dude, are we gonna get that scene too? Been here 2 months now, huh? Oh,
Oh, where'd you come from?
Painkiller, she's all right. Come on.
Painkillers.
oh, the chemical burn?
Touch it.
Tommy, what happened?
She was working KP and she burned her arm.
Well, how?
Pushed it right up against a pot.
You did this on purpose?
I was like, here we go, and then
What?
I fucking went.
What? Why?
No one saw it. I was on my own. And I took it off, and it was all red and melty. And
Oh no, the
gross.
painkillers
You know what it
on
smelled
a
like?
little woozy. Pork?
Who let this happen?
It smelled like pork.
Who saw this coming? I was eating my damn dinner.
It hurts. Ow!
Oh, Daddy's here. Don't worry.
I just really wanted to wear short sleeves again. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry already. Get out of here. Oh, lovey-dovey. Oh, the little kiss on the head. Some of these shows made me wonder if I'd even be like a half decent father.
Damn it, Seth.
Hey,
Oh, little guy. Well, it's not.
Happy 15th birthday, Eli.
Well, let's hope Seth bakes better than he spells.
I love it. Oh, damn, dude.
Yes. That's really good.
Dude went right in for it. Crazy. I love this. See, we're making the episode not just the one flashback, but literally gonna make a whole day of it. I love it. That's so sweet. Hurt my heart even more over here.
whoa, what's this?
Some folks call this a guitar.
There it is. Let's fucking go.
Borrowed one of your drawings for inspiration.
I'm sorry. I'm just so happy about that. I like how I've been saying it for like episodes. I'm gonna cry right now.
I had promised I would teach you, so
Aww. I'm gonna teach you.
well,
Covered
if
in
you want a
cake, maybe
lesson
not right now.
later. What, you want to play it?
Break it down.
Sing?
Yeah.
No.
And scene.
No, I don't sing.
Come
It's my
on.
fucking birthday, man. Let's see what you got.
That's right. Come on. Whip it out, dude. Yo, pause. Hang on. Sorry. And see, I'm okay with it being this way because in the game, he finds a guitar in a home and cleans it up and gives it to her.
What's this?
Some folks call this thing here a guitar.
Funny.
You want to hear something?
Simple change with it, like her trying to coax it out of him is like perfectly fine. I can't wait to see what Critical Drinker is going to be. Post his video where it's like, they tried to bring the show back. The one good episode.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself.
Aww.
Our future days, days of you and me.
That didn't suck.
Pretty decent guitar playing, if I do say so myself, partner. Don't get any cake on her. No, the cake. Down,
I
down,
understand.
down. Oh, why you did what you did?
Your arm. I understand. Happy birthday, kiddo.
1 year later. Okay, I
Is it a bow and
see.
arrow?
Oh,
Is it
that's really smart. Okay, to have like we're gonna do like one birthday a year leading up to the. I see what they're doing here. That's really cool. This is what I mean when I say adaptation done well. This episode so far, beautiful. This might low-key be my I don't know if it's my favorite so far, but I love the structure of it, and this is what I'm looking for in the adaptation, where it's like very, very similar to the game. The changes they make are conducive to a narrative. You expand upon characters, have a first ever flashback sequence of young Joel and Tommy. This is beautiful so far. I love it.
water guns?
No.
As she guesses what's for her birthday right here. Is it a dinosaur? Joel. Oh, please tell me he's gonna just like Oh, sorry. Let it play.
A dinosaur.
You're not gonna guess.
Wait. Is it a litter of kittens?
A lotter?
A lotter? A
You
litter?
mean a litter?
A litter of kittens? Really?
Please tell me. Come on. Oops.
Jesse was 16 when he started going on patrols.
Is that right?
I'm just saying, I think I could be more useful outside the wall.
You'll get on patrols eventually. You should
That Dina girl.
enjoy being a kid for now.
Oh, because childhood has been such a joy for me so far.
You've been 16 all of 4 hours. We're not sending you out until you're trained. You're gonna need something called patience.
Jesse said he'd train me if you let him.
Is there something going on between you two?
Oh,
Excuse
see.
me?
He thought he read
Spent
the
a lot of time
situation,
together.
but...
I see the way you look at him.
Oh, is that right?
I got a keen eye for these sort of things.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think you do.
All right, none of my business. But we're here.
Aw. That would have been a funny scene to get. It's fine, it's not in the show. There's a bit in the game that I love where it's,
Mind your step.
I got it.
Oops.
What is wrong with you?
You should see your face right now.
What if I drown?
Now you're not gonna drown. You gotta work on that confidence, kiddo.
I see it.
Yeah?
Looks like. How's that feel?
Refreshing.
Yeah, it's not nice getting pushed in, is it?
Well, actually, we need to swim through this part anyway.
I got you back. You're angry and upset.
I'm very angry and upset.
That's fine. We don't have to have that. But it would have been a funny, cute moment to, like, see. We got no time for that. We got Dino DNA.
Oh my god.
It is a dinosaur.
It is a dinosaur. Joel.
Like it?
Joel.
Yeah,
Now climb it.
likes it. Whoa, Ellie. Ellie.
Love it. Rambunctious little critter.
I want a motherfucking dinosaur! Joel, there's a museum.
Yeah,
Yeah?
no. If you don't fall off the goddamn T-Rex, I'll take you there.
Love it. Oh, we're right into it now. I love it. Oh,
So cool. How long have you known about this place?
Wow.
been saving
Well,
it.
then what the
I was saving it for a special day. You see? Patience.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
It's a virtue or something like that. I don't know. Love it. Even that little bit right there, like in the game, you just walk through a well-lit hall, but I love how in the show it's like the little thing. It's the little things, right? Like you walk through the dark hall with the stars all kind of lit up, so it's more of an effect to it. It feels like there's not as much light here, which I think helps with the whole space motif. So I like how that's translating to the episode. My heart can't take this. My heart, look at this. Yeah, see, the light is a bit more sparse. Look at the recreation. Oh my God, the design.
Did you know this was here?
Oh, you don't like it. We can head back.
Oh, shut up.
Deal with the grass growing and the moss and the branches hanging down. That's the one thing I think is consistent in the show, or if anything has only gotten better with time, is the production value in the show. Like it just keeps going up. The set design, rather. And it spins.
It works?
Somebody must have greased it.
Hell yeah. It's just such a damn beautiful moment. It's one of the best parts of part 2 in the game is having the whole museum flashback, and you see how he like planned this for months and made it so that it'd be this amazing experience he can share and give to her on her birthday in this like bonding moment. And it's all even made the more special because he listened to her talk about her interests ever since the first game. He knows she loves dinosaurs and space and how much it's like fascinating to her and how much she intrigued by the subject. And then that's how you fucking do it, man. Like again, like if I were a dad, it's the type of stuff that I'd be doing, trying to give these magical experiences either to my, daughter, but in this case, surrogate daughter, but those glimpses of hope, moments of light in the darkness that is this show. And then to have these bits of like the true heart of the narrative being in the, you know, the Last of Us, right? The Last of Us, these connections that we have to make and have to try to like either regain or find, or these reminders of our humanity and such, and being able to give this to each other, or experience this even in the apocalypse, even after the world has ended. Like life finds a way. It all persists.
Would you like to?
Like to what?
Go to space.
Well, wouldn't it just so happen that the wide eyes.
Is it real?
Well, first you need a helmet.
It's real. That one went up and back. Apollo 15, 1971.
Like, what are the odds should anybody be able to experience something like this? And then to be able to find this and give that to somebody after the world's ended.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh.
Going up to space. You need a helmet.
Let's go. Gotta break up one of them. Yeah, pick one, break it open. The devious little smile, like, ooh, break stuff. Don't mind if I do die diddly do. This one looks nice. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that
How's it
face.
smell in there?
Like space
Oh, yeah?
and dust.
Nice. The face. What is this, Star Wars?
Abort!
Calm down, Cassian. Happy birthday,
Happy
kiddo.
birthday, kiddo.
What's this?
What's this?
This
Something that took a mighty effort to find.
is something that took a mighty effort to find.
Yes, sir.
Play it.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
30 seconds and counting. Astronaut report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
The same music. Gustavo. See, and for the sake of the show, I do appreciate the structuring because it hits even harder knowing that all of this is kind of coming to her right in the moment where she is now like torturing a woman to death to find out where the killer of her surrogate father is, right?
I
Happy
do
birthday.
okay.
I do okay.
Are you kidding me?
Oh. Oh, he's cool, my man. It's fine. There's a part after that in the game that ties into the whole, like, throughout the flashbacks, there's this underlying feeling that there's still the secret. At the end of the first game, Ellie knows that Joel's lying to him, but she says okay, she accepts it, and she moves on. And in the flashbacks in 2, at the end, the tail end of all these happy moments, there's something that kind of still alludes to the underlying, you know, that the secret, right? I'll let the rest of this flashback play out, but I'll let you know what actually happens in the game after this. I don't know if we're gonna.
We should do this more.
I don't know if we're gonna see it or not.
In.
Oh, maybe it's a variation of it.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still gnawed at the back of her head. What is there? A firefly emblem carved into a tree? It was just, wait, it was just a dead tree, wasn't it? Was there an old like firefly symbol in the tree? Interesting. The dead tree caught her attention, though. Okay, so for context, in the game, after like the museum continues, right? So after the space part, there's more that Joel hadn't explored yet. So Ellie jumps on in and like gets in first, and he tries to find a way in after her. There's a kind of a creepy sequence with also some like backwards retrospective foreshadowing to what happens to Joel. Ellie finds a series of notes from a firefly. And there's a whole like little small subplot there with a firefly that talks about, you know, things went to shit in Salt Lake. The fireflies disbanded. That was the answer that they thought it was going to be. And now they become disillusioned. And they're like, the fireflies lied to us. There is no cure. There is no hope. And you end up finding a corpse of this guy that took his own life because he said, the struggle's pointless. I thought we had something to hope for. And then all that leads up to a boar jump scare. Joel jumps in there to help, and you know everything's all well and good. But then Ellie, like after seeing that suicide note and then seeing the firefly symbol on the wall knows that, like, you know, there's still something amiss. And we know it's because that Joel lied to her about the whole situation. But it feeds into that. It could have been something I could have done with my life and helped out with. And as far as Joel's told me, that was something that just couldn't happen. It's fine it wasn't included in this. I mean, we're still going to have that conversation. But just for those that haven't seen the game, I can't think of a time. I mean, unless you watch a cinematic playthrough on YouTube or play the game, like, when else are you going to be able to, like, know about that in the context? So I'm just throwing that in. 1 year later. Yeah, I love this idea of, like, every birthday, different but special. Rainy day, brought you another little cake from Seth, who apparently is a very good baker, and got her name right. But now notice that this is going to be darker, right? The colors, they're not as warm and inviting. There's no sun. It's rain now. The colors are a bit more gray and blue. It's subdued. There's a bit more, there's no music. It's a bit more quiet. You can only hear the sound of the rain and what Joel's doing in the room. It's a bit more ominous. And if I had to guess, I'd say she's already taken off, but I don't know yet. Oh, or maybe not. Is she fooling around with Dina? Maybe I'm wrong. Uh-oh, canoodling.
Joel, what the
Oh, it's Cat. It's Cat.
Exactly. What the Get out of here.
No, wait.
Got chocolate this year?
What are
Uh-oh.
you doing here? You're supposed to be on patrol.
I came home early to surprise you for your birthday.
Uh-oh.
17, by the way.
Oh, see, the first of the domestic squabbles, huh?
Well, I'm 19, so.
Not a good time. Thanks. Good talking with you, Cat. Oh, uh-oh. Already gave her the tattoo. Uh-oh. Oh, I like this thing. See, I like this too. Because we only heard about Cat in... Oh, no. You got a damn tattoo? What the fuck? Like, I like this, though, because we only heard about Cat in conversation. The show not only introduced us to Cat physically in the flesh, but now we have this flashback incorporating her and their relationships. That's cool.
It's not done yet. It's going to look better.
Leave.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So all the teenage shit all at once, huh?
Yeah.
Drugs and tattoos.
Yeah, Joel. Uh-oh.
Sex.
The wacky tobacco.
Experimenting with girls.
The devil's lettuce.
It wasn't sex. And it wasn't a fucking experiment.
Uh-oh. You're
You
gay.
don't know what you're saying. We'll discuss this later when you're yourself.
Oh, no. Well, that's a very realistic human troubles brewing in paradise. That's when she starts gravitating towards the garage. I want my own space. I like that we're getting to see more of their time in Jackson together. With her growing up and him trying to be a father. Oh, what, is she just moving all of her stuff? Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Moving into the garage.
What the hell you are, Ellie?
Oh,
Let
here
go.
we go. Our first fight.
It's the middle of the night. It's pissing rain out there. Now get this back on the bed. There's no heat or running water in the garage. You can't stay there. You may not like the rules, but this is my house.
No, it isn't. You don't own anything.
Well, I suppose you got a point there, Cupcake. Come on. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out.
Sorry that I got a tattoo and smoked weed and fooled around with a girl. Except I'm not.
It's who I am.
Maybe,
It's part of it.
maybe it's a good thing for you to have your own space. Just give me a few days and let me fix things up a little out there.
Compromise. I'll help you out. I still love you. Tugging at the heartstrings. Don't do this to me. It's great for the show, though. I love they're doing this for the people that haven't played the game, though. And even for those of us that have, right? Like, building up their relationship even more.
Can I see?
You know, actually, you don't look half bad here.
It's
Well,
actually not bad. Better than the one I made on your guitar, anyway. Never did ask. What is it with the moths?
oh, I love that we get an answer to it.
Nothing. I just read about them in a book on dreams and stuff.
Yeah, like change and growing and such.
And such, yeah.
It's late.
You're trying, dude. It's okay. You're both trying. Oh, Gale. Earth Abides, huh? Earth Abides is a 1949 American post-apocalyptic science fiction novel by George Stewart. Novel tells the story of the fall of civilization from deadly disease and the emergence of a new culture with simpler tools. Gale, you morbid doll, you. Come on. What is...
You guys study dreams and stuff, right?
Is there a doctor's in sign on me like Lucy from Peanuts?
Yes. You're here, so it's good enough for me.
Yes, some doctors studied dreams. The dumb ones mostly.
Damn.
So a moth.
Oh, he's
That
trying
probably
to.
means change and growth.
That's super sweet. He's trying to understand it more. That's really, I love that. Like behind the scenes, the amount of effort he goes into to provide, to like nurture, to treat, and also to like understand her. That's really sweet.
No, that would be a butterfly.
So what's a moth?
Death.
Death. If you believe in that shit.
Can't hardly blame her, can you?
Why?
Can't help yourself, Gail. No reason. You have a greater purpose. Oh, you have a greater purpose ever since the incident at the hospital with her thinking, oh, wow, everybody I've loved has either died or left me. Like, I can't really help anybody or anything. And then hearing from the Fireflies that with her immunity, she could maybe be the source, like be a provider for an answer, for a cure. And then to have that, be taken away from her, and that Joel makes the decision and takes everything from the world and saves her, like the controversial decision that people still talk about to this day. But then that's the impact of that people, like a lot of people seem to not really 100% understand it, but especially when they have that porch scene and she's like, my life would have mattered. Like that's the whole thing. Not spoilers. I'm just giving you an inside track into like what's in her mind, right? Which is that like my life would have mattered. Even if that meant I died in the process, that means I would have been able to help people for once in my life. And it means so much to her. And so having it taken away from her Ellie's mindset in the game is like, man, I'm really useless. Like, what can I do? Everybody I care about dies or leaves. That's just all that it is. 2 years later, 2 birthdays later.
About Salt Lake City.
Oh.
I just want to understand it.
She's practicing. Okay.
So
The question.
I wrote down some questions.
The question is, does she go there herself or does she just try to have the conversation outright? But she's practicing because she's nervous. You'd be terrified in the circumstance. But she has a right to know.
If the Fireflies spotted us a mile from the hospital, how did they get surprised by an entire group of raiders? If the raiders could kill all those soldiers, and Marlene, and you had to carry me the whole time, how did we get away? If there are dozens of immune people, why hasn't anyone heard
about them?
I figured I'd be waking you up.
Nope. I had trouble sleeping.
Up all night.
Well, guess what? That works out great for your birthday present.
Oh, patrol?
You're 19.
Oh?
You've been patient.
Oh?
So I told them I was okay with it.
With what?
A patrol.
Your first patrol.
I'll grab my coat.
And a gun.
Okay, Daddy-O. Oh, dude, he's trying. Look at this. We're not going to go to a hotel and find a bloater now, are we?
So what's the record for number of kills on a training run?
0. This is the safest trail we got.
Oh, my God.
Gotta start easy.
Huh.
Work your way up.
Happy birthday to me.
On the bunny slopes.
It reminds me of the old days, just you and me on the trail.
Sure. But she's got some things on her mind.
Going on, but it'd be nice if we could do this kind of thing more often.
Oh.
Spend time together. You okay?
Yeah.
It's just you look.
No,
There's nothing on your mind?
No, nothing.
This is Jackson. Come in. Effective North Pinnacle. Eugene and Adam need backup. You're the closest we've got.
Eugene.
I'll be there in 10.
Oh.
Tell them to dig in.
See, people were right. So this is gonna be the day, right? On her birthday, no less. Her first patrol, trying to do a bonding moment. We're gonna move in to help with the infected. I think my prediction about what happens to Eugene is gonna come to fruition. First of all, we're gonna see Cypher, so that's pretty cool. Matrix fans out there. But also, yeah, I think Eugene's gonna be infected, and Joel's gonna put him down, and it's gonna be brutal. But that's why Gail hates him for it. But because it had to be done, right?
Go back to Jackson.
No.
Ellie, it's not safe. Go back.
I'm not your f***ing kid, Joel. I'm your partner. We stick together.
See, I love this. Different, but at the same time, beautiful though. Love the color palette. Got her canvas sneaks on, of course she does. How's the trigger discipline? Pretty good so far. Gun safety tip, never put your finger on the trigger unless you are ready to fire.
Remember what I taught you?
I'm your back, you're mine.
Funny how she says that now, and then episode 1 we see that she's not good necessarily at watching her 6. But I guess it helps when you have a back, back to back. Oh, jeez. No bueno. That's a harbinger if I ever saw one.
Come on.
I also love the progressive aging of Joel, by the way. For one, making Ellie look a bit more mature, but then adding a bit more gray to Joel's hair.
Eugene.
Uh-oh.
Ellie.
Oh. Hey, Cypher, what's up?
You clean?
How's that steak taste?
I know this steak doesn't exist.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Are there any more?
Joel.
Are there any more?
Other than me. No.
Whoa.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Look,
God.
please, I figure I got about an hour. So this is what we do. We go back to the gate. They let Gail out, keeping her at a safe distance, of course, and I say
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Oh, he wants to say goodbye to Gail and he's not going to let it happen because that'd be like a safety risk. That's sad. I would have tried to bring him back, but I guess he's worried about himself and Ellie, right?
We can't do that.
Oh.
Yes, we can.
I just want to... He's accepted his fate. He just wants to say goodbye, Joel.
Yes, we can.
It's not loaded, dude. You're out.
Empty.
Oh.
No.
No, Joel, I gotta go back. I gotta see her. I got things. I gotta tell her.
But we have rules, and it can't happen.
Wait, he has time. We tie him up and we bring him back. Joel, let him see his fucking wife.
Yeah, come on.
Please.
If he turns in the way, we'll blast him, but, like, give him this. Thank God Ellie's there. Yo.
Get the horses, bring them down the trail. I'll start walking with him. We'll meet up with you.
Or is he going to blast him before you get there?
I promise.
Never broken any of those before, right? At least we get some Eugene. That's pretty cool. Oh, no. With a good view by the lake. Get out of town. Oh, God. Look at the flowers.
It's beautiful.
Oh, I can see it coming, though.
I need you to not turn around.
You can't do this to me. Joel.
If you have last words for her, I'll pass them along.
Last words for her. I need her last words. For me. I'm dying. I'm terrified. I don't need a view. I need Gail. To see her face, please. Please let that be the last thing I see.
If you love someone, you can always see their face.
Joel, come on. Oh. This guy's in it for one scene and already he's got me in tears. Get out of here.
I see her.
Bam. Oh. Jesus. And you lied to Ellie again, huh? That's pretty great. I mean, I get where Joel's head's at, but that's so unfair. You could have probably made it. And if not, you could have, if he was started changing, you could have shot him on the way. I get why she hates him, the way that he did it. He had time. He had f***ing time. Sometimes, like, there's too safe, Joel. I get why... Damn it. I get why they did it, you know?
Radio ahead and let them know.
I get why he did it, but Jesus.
When we get there,
I would have tried.
I'll
Maybe
tell Gail
maybe it would have been
what
stupid.
she needs to know,
but I would have
nothing more.
I would have tried.
It's the right thing to do.
He accepted his fate. There's nothing more graceful than that. He's like, I'm gonna die. I'm bit clearly here, but let me at least say goodbye to her. Jesus. I mean, yeah, there's a risk, but it was minimal. It was one guy versus Joel Miller. If he turned, blast him away, Ellie would have been like, damn, we tried, you know? Even if they got him there, even if they were embracing in Gail's arm, like, at least that would have been like a decision. Robbed him of that choice, just like you robbed her of hers.
I had no choice.
That's not true. Again, I love the overarching arc here and the narrative parallel between him and his father, trying to be better than his father, and in ways he has been markedly better and different for sure. But you know, so like old habits die hard, I guess. And like, and I'm not saying he's beaten her or anything like that, but in trying to be overly safe and you know, cautious, which I understand. Ah, jeez. Again, phenomenal adaptation. I think this is my favorite episode of season 2 so far. This is great. It's how you adapt and change and add and restructure, and all in service of the narrative, and at the same time expanding upon it. Oh, Gail.
Well, he wanted to tell you that he loved you. He wished he could say goodbye to you in person, but he didn't want to put you in danger. And he wasn't scared.
Was Ellie gonna say the truth?
And he ended it himself.
Lies, lie after lie. I mean, I get why he's doing it, but
That's not what happened.
yo.
He begged to see you. He had time. Joe promised to take him to you. He promised us both. And then Joel shot him in the head.
Get away from me, please.
You swore.
She's not just talking about Gail right there. You swore to me, you swore to her. 9 months later. We're gonna get the porch scene. Oh my god. Looking for the bone and walking in the bone. Oh god.
Yeah, he's falling apart. I'm gonna get him to bed.
Oh,
You're gonna miss the countdown.
he's all tuckered
Come
out.
back after. Save me some of that. Say goodnight to Uncle Grumpy.
Good night, Uncle Grumpy.
Night, kiddo.
See you next year.
Oh, see, and now we get, see, this is what I'm talking about, adaptation.
You know, collaboration is the key.
We get this scene with now Joel and Maria are gonna have a scene that we never had in the game. We're gonna be able to have his perspective and headspace on Ellie and the situation right here in this moment. Like, these are the add-ons that I want. I love this like focus on character. I think this is my favorite. It's my favorite episode of the whole season so far. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Already cried like twice.
What I said today
At
about you
least.
being a refugee probably came off as ungrateful.
No, it's okay.
Well, I am grateful.
Oh.
You mean a lot to us, to all of us.
You mean a lot to all-
especially to me and Tommy.
Mean a lot to me.
What I'm trying to say is Uncle Grumpy is family. And family helps each other out.
Thanks.
Oh, here it comes. I love it. Yeah. Subvert the audience expectation. The gamers out there. The old bait and switch. The old wait till the penultimate episode. I am so curious how they're going to handle the finale now. This episode has me bought back in. Back in, baby. How does he know? How does he know? There it is. Got the coffee. Is it the little owl mug?
What are you drinking?
Coffee. Traded it with those folks that came through. 3 months back.
Where'd you get it?
People that came through last week.
Last week. A little embarrassed.
A little embarrassed for what I
had
traded
to
to
get it.
but
It's pretty good.
it's not bad.
It's not bad. Damn, I'm screwing up the dialogue. I'm sorry. I'm a fake fan. I was supposed to die in that hospital.
I had Seth under control.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't want to ever hear about you taking me off patrol again.
Okay.
Are you and Dina?
So, Dina. Is she your girlfriend now?
That's just one kiss. Doesn't mean anything.
She'd be lucky to have you. She'd be lucky to have you.
You do like her?
I'm so stupid.
So stupid.
Look, I don't know what Dina's intentions are, but...
She'd be lucky to have you.
Well, she'd be lucky to have you.
I was supposed to die in that
You're
hospital.
such an asshole. You looked me in the eyes, and you lied. And it was the same face. But I think I knew already. So I'm gonna give you one last chance. Tell me what happened with the fireflies. If you lie to me again, we're done.
It's different, but this works. This works for me and for the show.
Were there other immune people? Were there raiders? Could they have made a cure?
So they said. I'd have done it
And Marlene?
all over again. Oh.
Making a cure would have killed you.
Then I was supposed to die. That was my purpose. My life would have fucking mattered, but you took that from me. You took it from everyone.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord, give me another chance. I'd do it all over again.
And I'll pay the price. Because you're going to turn away from me. But if somehow I had a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Because you're selfish.
Because I love you. In a way you can't understand. Maybe you never will. But if that day should come, if you should ever have one of your own, well then, I hope you do a little better than me.
I don't think I can forgive you for this.
But I'd like to try.
But I would like to try.
Different, and yet that was somehow more emotionally devastating than the game. Wow. Oh God. Oh my God. That's crazy how that, oh my God. As much as I love the game and how I've been putting that on a pedestal, and hang on a second, speaking platitudes to that, that was like the way they structured that was almost more emotional and even more sad and heartening. I think it's because like Joel like gets a little bit choked up in the game.
I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. But I would like to try.
I like that.
But to see him like break down like that farther than we've ever seen him before, and for it to have the parallel and the overall cyclical nature of the arc be from his father telling him to now him telling his surrogate daughter in that regard. Oh, now we cut back. Oh, dude, and we cut right back to it, huh? Oh, is she gonna get back to the theater and then Abby's gonna show up? Oh my God. Oh no. Is this the night? They are queuing it up. Oh, I know, they're queuing it up. They're pressing fast forward on it. So wait, is that to insinuate, because the night that it happens, there's a storm a brewing. So are we trying to say that we're gonna, oh my God, it's not really spoilers per se, but I'll try to have gentle verbiage here. Are we saying we're going to, oh my God, I'm a mess right now. So we're gonna skip the aquarium and the whole Tommy subplot. We're gonna cut right to there and then like have that episode play it out, leave it there. How are they gonna do this, man? How are they gonna play that? I am shocked that they, like, I was emotional when I was playing the game and I experienced that scene on the porch, but I am astounded that they were able to evoke such a strong emotional response, the way they were able to both honor the original integrity of that scene, but then also change it and rewrite parts of it in a way. Oh my God. I knew it was going to happen.
For good luck.
For good luck, yeah. On the season finale.
These people are shooting each other.
Oh, I see.
Bring
Yeah,
each
we're...
other's guts out. I am not dying out here. This is not our war.
Oh, we are doing it that way. Oh, no, don't show him running right there. No. They do have the boat. I saw oh my God, I saw the Ferris wheel. There's no way we are getting in the aquarium. Get out of town with this. Oh my God, I can't. Oh my God, they literally had the flooded city. I can't believe it. Dude, are they gonna like save it at the end here?
Craig and Neil continue to stay committed to this source material that everyone loves so much. They're uncompromising in the vision of that adaptation.
This character means the world to me. I've been with us for many, many years. You've done it justice and then some, and for that I'm incredibly grateful.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave. You guys are the best that I've ever seen and been a part of.
When we were talking about how to lay the season out, we knew that we wanted to return to Joel. not because we felt like people would miss him. We all miss him. We're gonna miss him.
Yeah.
But rather because there was something beautiful about a return and a recontextualization of the events that happened between season 1 and where we meet Joel and Ellie again in episode 1 of season 2.
A remark Craig made early on when we were breaking the season was like, oh, what if we flash back to Joel's childhood? And I'm like, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
And we
Amazing
get to see
idea.
the
I
kind
love
of
it.
programming that Joel had as a kid by this
Yeah.
guy that was doing his best with how he knew to raise his kids. And part of it was to hit them.
What we come to understand is that Joel has been
A protector,
behaving
a guardian.
as protector of the weak and perhaps somebody who's got a little bit of a savior complex since he was a kid.
That's an understatement. A little bit of savior complex, dude. I've mentioned Dr. Mick many times on my channel, a few times rather, and he's one of my favorite people to watch play a game because he approaches it with a therapist's mindset and really breaks these characters down. Watching him play through Last of Us and talking about Joel, yeah, that was immediately what he eventually got to, was that Joel has a massive savior complex.
Teenage Joel, the same Joel in his 50s, willing to put his body in between the people he loves and pain. And we're also seeing him willing to lie for those people, even if that means going toe-to-toe with his violent father.
Joel is standing up for his little brother here and expects fully that he's going to be hit. And his father does something unexpected.
Yeah.
Which is to try to rationalize why he does what he does. His own son pokes holes in the argument in such a way that finally, Joel's father has to kind of admit that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. I say that whenever I talk about growing up. Oh, this is some serious, like, emotional stuff. But, like, you know what's crazy about getting older and growing up? Because I'm almost 30, and I don't feel like it. And you know why? Because I'm gonna get emotional next. I still feel like a kid. Like I still feel like I'm just trying to figure it out. And I feel like even as adults, like, yeah, you have lived experience and you've been through life and events and maybe some trauma or something, but that time of the night, folks. I think that even as adults and seeing, because it's like seeing that in my fathers, I've seen it in my mother, I've seen it in countless adults that are like losing control or spiraling in their own way. Yeah. Okay. Oh, end of the day, we're all still kids just trying to figure it out. Or some of us are just trying. We're just trying. We don't know what's coming up next. We're trying to figure it out, find the way forward, do better by ourselves, by those we care about, or in this case, by the next generation after us. But I mean, dude, I keep saying it, but we're like, it's the way I feel. I'm still just a kid, man. I'm still just a kid that just like knows more. That's it.
And in that moment, what we're offering is a sense that there isn't just pain, trauma, and violence that can be passed down from generation to generation. There is also a sense of improvement and growth and progress as humans.
Each one of these flashbacks is a different birthday for Ellie. These gestures of love from Joel, contrasted with the relationship just deteriorating, felt like a really interesting angle on this episode.
The subject matter is it's so beautiful. I feel like some of the most iconic scenes from the video game come from the flashback stuff. The space capsule, the dinosaur.
We started the exterior. The exterior was a lot of fun. In the game, when Ellie climbs the dinosaur, the set tech team came through with a giant T-Rex that we brought in. I think Neil and Ksenia, our cinematographer, even climbed it themselves.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So
Talk about living the dream.
Starts with this star hallway. It was very challenging to shoot because it was very dark and the stars didn't want to glow.
Just on a whim, one of my art directors came to the lighting test with a bunch of little rhinestones and things that he'd picked up at a dollar store. We lined the entire hall with velvet and then bedazzled the entire hallway. And it worked amazingly well. You can't feel the walls in there because of the velvet, just absorbs everything, and these things feel like stars.
That's what I was saying, man. I love how like your boy over here can clock that kind of shit. How even that translated even better in a cinematic capacity than that of the video game. Like even moments like that, like it works even better. But it also goes to what I was giving props and kudos for earlier, which is that the production design is just so, there's just so much love and heart, and it's just so well thought out in this, in adapting this.
And there's an orrery. It's a model that depicts the movement of the planets around the sun, exactly how they move in space and time. And we built one from scratch that mimicked the orrery that was in the game.
Before Game 2 even came out, Craig came by Naughty Dog and we were going to start breaking season 1 of the show. And I'm like, hey, you want to see something from Game 2? He's like, of course. And I loaded up the sequence on the PlayStation where they get into this space capsule. And I'll never forget, Craig goes, that has to be in the show exactly like that. The lighting outside is 2 cranes manned by 2 crews that have to move it manually in a particular angle and choreography and timing for it to all work. That was a really special moment to be able to get that and do it justice.
There isn't anything better than creating happiness for somebody that you love. In no exaggerated way, there's nothing more important to him than Ellie's happiness.
I think it just means the world to her.
He's demonstrating how much he knows Ellie. He knows the thing she loves the most. And he gives it to her in the best way one could in this world. And for a moment in time, they're both happy and they both love each other. And this is the happiest we'll ever see them. And the key to unlocking that scene was the lie that Joel tells Ellie.
Neil and I thought it was important to give Ellie a moment where her suspicions that had been percolating for years about what he told her at the end of season 1 needed to finally be confirmed. It was the look in his eyes. Ellie reveals that to Gale, not because she wants Gale to feel bad, but because she wants to punish Joel for what he did.
But she's used the word swore, and that's by design, because she's not referencing that moment alone. She's also referencing when Joel swore to her at the end of season 1.
Eugene is an articulation of the fact that Ellie can never move on from this decision Joel made. And his death is just another in this tragic line of deaths that could have been prevented.
There's no denying the courage that Ellie demonstrates in confronting Joel, and out of respect and ultimately love, he can't lie to them anymore.
I'm gonna cry again now.
Ultimately losing Ellie. His final act of love is telling her the truth.
The porch scene was maybe the most nervous I've ever been directing anything. I went up to Pedro and Bella right before, and I just wanted to let them know this one means a lot to a lot of people. And I don't know why I was nervous, because they're both so brilliant at what they do.
There was an element of literally everything falling away and it just being me and Pedro in a moment together. Which is really special, quite rare.
And I'm watching Pedro and Bella be Joel and Ellie, have this confession, have this back and forth, and see Ellie forgive Joel, or want to forgive Joel, wanting to start towards this place of forgiveness that's very hard for her. I'm crying on the set, and I'm looking around, other people are crying on the set, and I'm like, yeah, we did it. I truly hope that fans feel the same way.
Oh, I did. Even as someone who's been critical of the season so far, I did.
It's her last memory of Joel, and it is now our last memory of Joel. And it puts us squarely in Ellie's POV and Ellie's heartache. In that last moment, we are launching you into why she's willing to make choices that sacrifice her soul. So as you watch her make these nightmarish choices, you understand that it's coming from a warped place of love and loss.
It took a while, but we got there, didn't we? Yeah, hands down, that is my favorite episode of the season so far, without question. There have been good moments, there have been great moments, there have been even a few fantastic moments, but that was perfection. The price is what we're calling it, huh? The price, yes indeed. And I'm sure that it hit for all of you at home if you have not played the game, which is fine. I think except for a lot of my grievances and discrepancies, of which I still have some, mind you, but yeah, I think that beautiful. I love the way, I could talk about it for an hour, I really could, but that is, in my mind, in my heart, what I'm looking for when it comes to adapting the game to the show. And that's what they did in season 1 a lot, which is that you adapt directly from the game and pay, you're definitely paying homage and respect to it. You're very loyal to the overall plot. I love how, rearranging some scenes, we all kind of figured the porch scene was too crucial not have, and having it there makes sense. It makes sense in the game. Of course, it doesn't come until literally the last 10 minutes of the game. You get the porch scene, which is conducive for the point of the game, and I'll concede that for the point of adaptation for the show, it makes sense to do it that way. So episode 6 really heals a lot of my grievances and a lot of my heart for some of my initial complaints about the show. I love the structure of it. I love the idea that we get not only some of those key flashback sequences we've had in the show, but we get to develop more as to Joel and Ellie when they first arrive in Jackson and over the years, and kind of like their place in there and how they go, how she eventually moves out. And I love the concept of literally having it be on her birthday, and then year by year, by couple years on each of those birthdays as she grows up. You have the Eugene backstory, again, that lie, adding Gale, expanding upon Eugene, again, being able to masterfully tie that in to the overarching narrative of that initial lie that started it all, that I swear you swore, but you broke that promise. Not only do those moments that I already cried at in the game impact me just as much in this, but there were even elements of it that I conceded, elements of the episode that did it even better than the game did, which is like, that's saying something from me. I don't know what's going to happen next. We have the season finale in 1 week. It's crazy, right? Because like I know what happens, but I don't know how they're going to structure it. But there were scenes in that coming up next that are literally ripped straight from the game. And I know some bad stuff that's coming. I know some really iconic moments that are coming. That, I just want you to know, if anybody's curious about my headspace, that The Price, episode 6, season 2, that is what I'm looking for adapting the story. It makes sense. I think he was directing it, because you saw in the behind the scenes. Well, what else is there to say, right? That was season 2, episode 6. That was The Price. That was the penultimate episode. We have one more to go this season. I am pumped for it. I'm so looking forward to seeing how they'll do it. Please comment below. Tell me did you cry too? I'm sure a lot of us cried. Please. I was a mess, dude. Hopefully all of us, both TV show fans, game fans, and a mixture of the two, hopefully we can all come together in agreement and agree this might be the best episode of the season so far. Hopefully I didn't get too personal and share too much of my life story and all that, but if that also is anything you can connect to as well, feel free to, let's talk about it. Like I said, if you want access to these not only early but full, uncut, with uncensored with HD video accompaniment, patreon.com/MovieMan101 for all of that and early access and such. Otherwise, you being on here on YouTube, of course, more than enough. Appreciated. Liking the video helps me out so much. Commenting below helps the so sacred algorithm, as it were. And yeah, the raffle, again, this is the last chance. You have 1 week from me posting this. You have 1 week to go on the Instagram at MovieMan101Pro, like my post on the Last of Us season 2 giveaway, and on the finale, on the season finale, I'll be announcing live. I'll be picking a winner at random for the winner of a copy of Last of Us season 2. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me for you to be watching this old gamer here breaking down live on the episode. But have a good day, have a good night, and as always, goodbye, travelers.